Hey, hello there guys, Proxons here, and welcome back to another Yokai Watch 4 video on the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at two relatively recently released screenshots for Yokai Watch 4, and in both of these screenshots, the main focus is on Nate, and it just shows us some stuff from his side of the game. So, without further ado, let's get started with the first screenshot here, which is a screenshot of Nate just casually riding his bike in the overworld. So in this screenshot here, we see a few different things going on. The first thing that you can see is, of course, Nate is riding his bicycle, which does mean that the bicycle will be returning to the game, and I guess that would be pretty obvious since it was a nice mode of transportation in the previous games, but you know, it's good to see that it's officially confirmed that the bike will be returning. And then to the side of him, we can see Jabanian and Whisper just standing around and doing their own stuff. And in this case, you can see that both Jabanian and Whisper are in their normal forms, as we've seen in all of the previous games. We also see a minimap to the bottom right, and on this minimap, quite a few things are going on. So you can see that this is an area that was previously available in the other games, and I'll put a screenshot of what it looked like in the other games on screen right now. And as you can see, it's definitely been upgraded quite a bit. So in this area here, we have the same every mart, but it looks a lot better since a lot of the graphics in the game have been really upgraded, so everything looks a whole lot better. And then on the minimap itself, you can see how the objectives and all of those things are actually marked out. So you can see that the mart is shown on the map to be a mart with the Y icon, and then you see a objective marker right above that, and there's more details above the map about the objective marker, as well as a little marker to indicate which way you need to go, and that is at the very top of the screen. And that's generally stuff we've seen in a few other screenshots, since that's the way the quest thing is going to work in this game. You're going to have an objective that is shown in the top right, and then you use the map alongside the little navigation bar to get to wherever this objective is throughout the entire area in the game. And another thing we actually see here in this whole map area is the fact that you can press the R button to get a larger view of the map, which is going to be really nice, especially considering that you'll be able to use all of the switches screen to see this entire map, and that'll be cool to just explore around the map and see what's going on with that. But also it'll be cool since, you know, in the previous games you could increase the size of the map, but you couldn't really go too far with it. But now that you have so much more screen space available, it'll be nice to see how the map looks just on the full screen. And other than that, in this screenshot, we've just got a few different buildings, we've got a few different side characters in the back, and then we've also got Keita just using the crosswalk here. And as you can see on the map itself, it does indicate that Keita is probably, in this case, just walking around like any other character and isn't necessarily too involved in the quest that is going on here. So that is all for this screenshot, and now we can get a move on to the next screenshot, which is filled with a few more things than this one. So this next screenshot is of a battle in the game, and as you can actually see on the screenshot, this is a battle on Nate's side of the game, and there's a few things to note here while you're looking at this battle. So first off, you can see that Nate has a team that currently consists of Jabanian, Hydabat, and a Noko. So the way that is set up in the bottom left corner is quite different from any of the other Yokai Watch games, because in the previous Yokai Watch games, the whole yokai menu was on the bottom screen of the 3DS, but in this case it is in the bottom left hand corner of the overall Switch screen, and it's a bit different from all of the other ones, since in that case you used the bottom screen to sort of get through the battle, but in this case it seems that the battle itself is just a bit different since you're interacting with it differently, and the way everything works is quite a bit different. And this is something we've actually seen in previous screenshots where your character is a part of the battle and isn't just commanding the battle overall. So as you can see, Nate has HP, Nate has YP, and Nate in some way, shape, or form is going to interact with the battle, and that's going to be similar with all of the other characters where they're going to be able to interact with the battle alongside their yokai. And speaking of the battle itself, you can see that the yokai are facing a Humgramps and I believe 2 Dimmies. So it's similar to all of the other games where it's going to be a 3 yokai versus 3 yokai type thing alongside your character, of course. And then on the right side of the screen you can see some of the attacks that are available for your character, and I'm guessing this is going to be similar to Yokai Watch Blasters or Busters, where you'll have to scroll through each one of your characters and you'll be able to use specific attacks for them in that case. And while you scroll through all of them, you'll be able to see like different attacks on the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and each of these attacks will be dependent on what each different yokai can do. For example, Jabanian will probably have generic attacks that you are used to, and then probably some more specific attacks. And I'm going to take a guess, this isn't confirmed or anything, but I'm going to guess that as you go through the game, you'll probably be able to customize their movesets more than you currently see on the screen in this screenshot, and that'll be similar to Yokai Watch Blasters, where you were able to change the movesets of your yokai the further you got through the game. So hopefully that is similar to this game, since it would be pretty cool to be able to customize the movesets of the yokai and make them more powerful or make them more optimized, I guess, for certain situations. For example, if you had a healer, you could make them only have healing abilities, or if you had an attacking yokai, you could make them have really powerful attacks that just attack and don't really do much defensive stuff, and in that way you'd be able to customize your team to be well suited for whatever fights you have to go through. And really, that's all we can get from this screenshot, except there's one small thing that I would like to note, and that is also on the bottom left hand corner. And if you look here, you can see that there are 2 things mentioned here. So the first thing it says is auto battle, and the second thing it says is stop watching. And something to note is that this is in English while the entire rest of the screenshot is in Japanese, so it's quite interesting to just look at this and observe it. But also, it's interesting to note that it mentions auto battle, since that means you'll probably be able to click this button on your Joy-Con or on your controller, whichever one you're using, and by pressing this button you'll be able to just sit back and relax and watch the fight pan out. And then you can use the stop watching button to actually get into the fight, so it gives you the option to either interact with the fight and go through it on your own, or it gives you the option to just sit back, relax, and let your yokai and your character go through the fight on their own. And personally, I think I'm just going to stick to the manual hands-on battling, since I find that more enjoyable, and it's really fun to be able to just go through all of your yokai and your team and go through the fight, and it's a lot more enjoyable than just sitting back and letting your yokai do their thing. But I can see where the appeal is for an auto battle system, so it's nice to see that it's something that they have added into the game, and it's intriguing to just observe the whole system, and it'll be cool to see how it's actually going to work. And again, it's odd but interesting to see the fact that that menu option is in English. Maybe it's hinting at a earlier localization of the game. I'm not too sure if that's going to be the case, but it's just something to look at and something to just keep in mind while the game is getting developed and when the game is released. So that's going to be it for this video. I do hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Also, if more Yokai Watch 4 news or screenshots or anything like that comes out, I'll make sure to make a video on that and just go through it, analyze it, and just have a discussion about it. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and well, as always, I'll see you all next time. Bye everybody.